I should have never gotten friendly with her. She had seen through me from day one, understood that what I was feeling before even I had. Hello and welcome. I'm Ash Mannix, and once again, we are visiting the house in Fata Morgana. In the last part of the playthrough, there was a big revelation, really, something that kind of made me pause for thought. It kind of it took me by surprise, even though it kind of shouldn't have, in a sense. We found out that Michel, who and one of the commenters has said that both I've said Michel and Michel, but both are pronounced as Michel in French, which probably, I think that's where Michel is based, with the names of the brothers and all that. So I'm going to just go with Michel from now on. But Michel, who has been trying to wrestle Giselle from the clutches of the witch Morgana, has been hiding a secret, a deep dark secret that they haven't even told Giselle about. And that is that Michel was born a woman. Born a daughter to the what's the name of the to the family? I mean, I can't remember what their surname is again. And so this was revealed when the witch has revealed this information to Giselle. And Giselle, as we got to the top of the tower after a great strife, suffering from the pains that the witch Morgana had suffered, but also inflicted upon us at the same time. And upon opening the doors at the top of the tower in the house of Fata Morgana, we are shown what is Michel's bedroom in the mansion, with Giselle being there, having had Michel's secret revealed to them, and Giselle just stands there disgusted and says to us that we are disgusting. And I believe Giselle, I don't think she does she say I don't love you or something. She says you. I just remember her calling us disgusting and being pretty distraught at that. Almost feeling how Michel might feel at that moment. And the witch at that point in time then casts us into our own story, of our own, as in Michel's story, of Michel's past, forcing Michel to confront the memories that he's been trying to hide all this time, and at the same time showing it to all, or the viewer. I'm assuming Giselle might have seen it already, might not have. And so we started going through we start back when Michel was quite young, I think 12, and watching Michel struggle with being a woman and a girl in in their rich family, and being confined into a specific kind of, just like confined to like learning to sew and not being able to do anything and not being able to go out, not even being able to go outside because of Michel's condition, where his skin is so thin and translucent that if he goes out into the sun, it can burn on a sunny day. All these things that limit their like freedoms and being able preventing them from doing what they want to do. And then Michel comes across, has to attend a party that their brother sets up, which sucks because Michelle's brother's friends are assholes, and one of them actually assaults Michelle. I think it's a forced kiss, but something else happens, which is it seemed like a bit more than just a hug. I'm not sure. But anyway, a lot of other stuff happened. We're also introduced to Amy, who is Michelle's brother's fiance, who Michelle is kind of infatuated with, understandably so. But yes, I better stop rambling on. Let's inspect our memories. Halcyon days, or Halcyon days. I will hide my face. Let's get into this. Amy frequently visited my chambers. I didn't know if it was at Mother's request or of our own volition, but I prayed it was the latter. She was a very touchy-feely person, and she seemed to have a particular fondness for playing with my hair. Whenever her voice danced its way into my ears, it would wreak havoc inside me. Being enveloped in her scent day after day stoked the fire growing within me. I did my best to remain as straight-faced as possible, because the last thing I wanted was her catching on. I understood that the things I was feeling were untoward, to say the least. Your hair is so utterly enchanting. I've never seen hair so white before. I think having colour is much prettier. Oh, well, Georges says white is the most difficult colour to make with paint. There's no greater challenge than capturing the beauty of true white. Living with such a splendid example of the colour must have given him a very high standard of quality. Say, Michel, maybe you could tell me about yourself today. I would love to get to know you better. Tell you about myself? Yeah. We could become even better friends if we found some mutual interests. I enjoy playing chess, and I consider myself quite good. Oh my, chess? I've never played. You're such a bright girl, Michel. Would you like to try? I could teach you. I appreciate the offer, but I think I'll pass. I doubt I would be any good. Oh. Okay. What else is there? Say, your favourite kind of flower, fragrance, colour of gemstone. Are there any embroidery patterns you're particularly skilled at? I don't have any favourites, no. I'm not especially good with the needle either. No? Do you have shaky hands then? I wouldn't say that, no. I'm fairly good with a knife, I think. A knife? Oh, like a kitchen knife? No, a sculpting knife. Sculpting? Is that really so strange? It is a bit unusual, I'd say. But Georges does it all the time. His room is practically made of wood chips and charcoal and paint. Georges is an artist. And a man. There's nothing unusual about him doing some sculpting. Why is it okay for him but not me? Does being a girl really make that much of a difference? Well, the harsh truth. Why don't we practice embroidery together, Michel? This hurts my soul. This was supposed to be about finding mutual interests, and I think Amy has just discovered that they probably don't have many. I get the feeling you've spent too much time with your brothers. But now you have me, so now you can be a girl. Ha 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 ha. I'm sure it won't be long before you appreciate how much fun cooking and needlework can be. Granted, yeah, I can't cook for anything, but I'm sure cooking and needlework is fun, but I think the point here is that this is not what Michel was interested in at all. As you can see. She sounds just like Mother. And she gives the same reason too. Because I'm a girl. That's not an explanation. It's a vague generalization. Oh, Michel, to be rational and yeah, just like logical, sucks, especially in the year of 1060 or 1066 or whatever year this is. That said, if I agree, I can spend more time with her. Okay. Wonderful! We'll come up with beautiful designs together. And when you've made something you're proud of, you can give it to a boy who catches your eye. Or if you'd prefer, you could give it to your father or brother. I would like George's to have what I make, though. Ah, this is so much more painful than Amy could ever realize. Michel, you know you're hurting yourself by spending more time with Amy. You know that. You're just gonna hurt yourself more. Oh, I've been wondering. Did you and Georges meet at the royal court? Oh, heavens no. I've never been to the court. One day my father told me... One day my father told me I was getting married. And the next day is when we first met. It happened that quickly. What? Are you worried about me, Michel? Don't worry, I'm not displeased with the arrangement. In fact, I'm quite happy with it. Aristocratic marriages are almost always sudden. And as a woman, you get used to being a piece in their games. But Georges, he's different. Is he? He just seems like a bit of an ass. A funny guy, a nice guy, but still a bit of an ass. He's a gentleman. A gentleman? Him? You sound surprised. I believe hedonist suits him better. Oh, I quite disagree. I have complete faith he'll do good by me. Yep, that's my reaction as well, Michel. I couldn't fathom where she found such confidence in him. Especially a man she had only just met. How could she trust him at all? She was nothing but a pawn and she knew it. So maybe she was simply putting on an act. I had trouble believing her smile was anything but genuine though. One day you'll meet the right man for you, Michel. And he won't be a drunk like the guy from earlier. God, that guy fucking sucked. He'll be a kind, hard-working, respectable man. If only. I would rather not find anyone. I suppose this is all still too soon for you, huh? I mean, Michel's only, what, 14? But then again, in this time, in this age... Say, how old are you, Michel? 14. Oh, wow, I assumed you were younger. Oh, wow. What the where is this going? Do I really look that young? So, on top of everything, Michel has stunted growth or stunted development in their physical body. No hard feelings. I don't understand where... So, the family have said that Michel is cursed. And this has been a big thing, a big... what do you call it? Theme that has ran throughout the game. That there is a curse, whatever that may mean. And Michel has said that the curse was only revealed later on. I don't know if the curse is that Michel regards themselves as a man, rather than a boy rather than a girl, or a man rather than a woman, depending on when this comes to the fore. Or is it something else that is revealed when Michel grows up? Like, does Michel grow up to be a man? And that's the curse? And then how is that? Or is Michel... I mean, yeah, that kind of doesn't make sense. Either way, I guess we'll see. No hard feelings. You're just like a tiny little doll, so small and slender. That's not gonna be condescending at all, patronising. And look, not one bit of meat up here at all. Oh my god, are you touch... I hope that's not the chest. Hey! She playfully grabbed me from behind and started prodding at my chest. Yep, I thought so. As her delicate fingers slid across my skin, I found myself gripped by very indecent urges. As we all do, Michel, as we told her. Every heavy thump of my heart felt sinful. She couldn't know. I couldn't let her. Everything I had been fighting to keep down came hurling to the surface. Oh no. Is this the curse? Is the curse that Michel finds women attractive? You're so cold, you know that? She was touching me like it was nothing, caressing my hair. Was she this intimate with George's? Or was it because I was a younger girl that she was so keen on putting her hands all over me? Before I understood what I was feeling, my body acted. Oh. It was pure, unfiltered impulse. In my attempt to escape from her grip, I twisted around only to find my face inches from Amy's, slowly gravitating closer. I pressed my lips against the corner of her mouth. Amy sat there, flabbergasted. I was equally aghast. I'm sorry. As I frantically put some distance between us, I'm sure my face was red as an apple, though I didn't know it at the time. But, well, that was certainly unexpected. I'm sorry. Did I make you uncomfortable touching you so much? Amy was smiling, though it looked forced. No, not at all. Then I must have startled you. I'm sorry, if I had let you go sooner, we could have avoided this accident. What do you mean, accident? A kiss on the lips is... It wasn't an accident. It wasn't, Amy. I seem to have confused you somewhat, Michel. What? I know I can be very touchy-feely with you, and you took that to mean you should do the same. Oh, is this how we're going to gloss over this? No. You can't do that again, alright? If you want to kiss your friends, you do it on the cheek. Save the lips for the man you love. I should get going then. Georgie starts getting cranky if I don't give him enough attention. Hold on, Amy. So long, Michel. She wouldn't hear me out. Once Amy had fled my chambers, that was when I finally comprehended my own emotions. That she had stolen my heart. But Amy was George's fiancée. No, that wasn't the problem. My body, was not meant for her love. I awoke in the middle of the night to pain in my joints. Not enough exercise, I guess. I tried bending and stretching my arms and legs, but it did nothing. So after pondering on it for a bit, I decided to go for a late night walk to distract myself. Huh? As I approached the corridor adjacent to the courtyard, I heard a woman's voice. I'm still concerned about staying here. Amy's voice. Doing my best to remain perfectly quiet, I pressed myself up against the wall by the window and listened in on their conversation. I knew it was improper to eavesdrop, but the sound of her voice had me frozen in place. It's Michel. I'm afraid I've confused her. A tiny jolt ran down my spine, my muscles all tensing up at once, the sound of my name rising to her lips, but not in the way I would have liked. She kissed me. Well, almost, but how could I have guessed she thought of me that way? Mother told me she didn't have any female friends, and asked me to be one for her, which is why... So she had only been coming to see me because Mother had asked her to. I had been afraid of that. Afraid that she wasn't there to be with me. That she had no fondness for me. That my yearning for her was one-sided. She kind of scares me, the way she looks at me. Always watching every little move I make. I'm sensitive to that sort of thing. I can tell what's going through Michel's mind. Oh well. I managed to deflect it this time, but I should have never gotten friendly with her. She had seen through me from day one, understood that what I was feeling before I had. It's disgusting. Homosexuality. Wow. Homosexuality? Did I hear her right? Something inside me crumbled, and with it came an intense sense of wrongness. There it was again. That overpowering discomfort. That fear coursing through my veins. That repulsion. That irritation. That apprehension. What on earth was I? Did I view Amy as a member of the same sex? Were the things I felt homosexual? I heard Amy sigh from beyond the window. Then the man beside her, who she was confiding all this in, replied, "She's still a child." That voice. And one with undeveloped social skills besides. Understand that she's going to do and say some inappropriate things. It's not uncommon for a child to mistake admiration for love. And I didn't know this until recently, but when she gets something into her head, she has a tendency to run with it without thinking. Is it the other brother? The one that's not the fiancé? The one training to be who's going to be a knight? Ooh. Was not the man's I had assumed it was. Didier! Shit! The other day she asked me to let her be a knight. I can't imagine how she thought that would end any other way. Why? It's not very often there are women other than Mother at the estate. I imagine she simply got nervous being around you. Something got mixed up in her head. Yes, that's how that works, mate. What the hell? Ah, misplaced love. Why was Didier out there with her? Oh shit. I hope that's all it was. Amy, hadn't you told me you thought Georges was a gentleman? So what were you doing, getting so friendly with Didier? And Didier, weren't you my ally? Or was that all an act, like her? You were going to be a knight, so why were you out here with your brother's fiancée? I'm glad to have you here, so I hope you can figure something out to make it work. I'll do what I can, but... And I'm kind of reluctant to say this to you, but something has to change. As it is, she kind of grosses me out. Oh, this sucks. It would... Oh my god, if I was overhearing this and they were talking about me. Oh, Michel. She grosses me out. So what? I was some kind of sick, disgusting creature? All I had done was show feelings for her. I couldn't be Georges or Didier. The needles piercing me expanded, both in size and number. Soon I was being skewered by a dozen of them, and the heated sighs rising from the courtyard only served to make the pain worse. All I could do was cover my ears and run. To see and hear confirmation that people think you're a weirdo, holy fuck. Especially your brother. And the woman that you've fallen in love with. Oh man. Why? But what were you doing out there, did you? How am I gross, Amy? It's not real. It's all a bunch of lies. This entire house is nothing but a fraud. None of it was ever real. The family gatherings, Amy's smiles. Wait a minute. How is this even happening? Why is Amy seemingly having a tryst with Didier? Didier's kindness? George's? What about George's? Did he agree to the marriage knowing about them? What the hell are they thinking? Wait, do you think George's is in on this? What? No. Wait, what? You want to know who's really disgusting? God damn it. I will not cry. I will not cry. I can't let myself. Girls cry. Tears are for girls, not for me. I bit down hard on my lip, wrapped myself in my sheets and pressed my hands hard over my ears. Squeezed my eyes shut as tight as I could manage. Tried to get away from the things I had seen. Images of them embracing in the night threatened to float back to the surface, but I shook my head, casting them off. Wait, were they embracing each other? You never said that before. Fuck. Praying I wouldn't have any nightmares, I drifted off to sleep. Who are the bigger... I mean, at least Michel was honest. I mean, all of them are hiding horrible lies and deception. What the hell's going on here? And then there's the dad who's a complete and utter scum. The next day I awoke with a terrible fever. I hovered in a sweltering wave of heat, unable to tell dream and reality apart, listening to a seemingly endless stream of cracking noises. The sounds were coming from inside my body. I thought I was falling apart. Mother was horribly worried. I had never been the most healthy child, but I had never fallen this ill either. I couldn't get out of bed. My voice was raspy like an old woman's. I was genuinely afraid I would wither away and die. Mother called in doctor after doctor to see me, but they all said it was the flu. Wait, the flu? Wait, wasn't the flu really bad at that time? That bodily pain was common with a fever. While there was a doctor in the house, Mother was able to remain relatively calm, but once they were gone, the anxiety came back. She stayed with me, day and night, even foregoing sleep. Her hands gripped mine, they held me fast. She had her head bowed as if in prayer. Don't worry, it'll be alright, Michel. God is watching over you. He will protect you. You are His child. You are His angel sent to earth. His angel sent to earth. The mother, yeah, Michel's mother's always called her an angel because of her peculiar, well, her unique look of the pale, fair skin, red eyes and the white hair. Not entirely different from how the witch Morgana was treated as a saint because of her apparent powers or perceived powers surrounding the conditions of her birth. Is that why the witch took an interest in Michel? I mean, it must have been why the witch maybe wanted Michel to stay with her, because she partly understood the type of pain that the witch had gone through. Yeah, and you know, and the hurt that the witch... Now, I'm not justifying the witch, because the witch has been extremely horrible, and the results of how she's gotten back at the people that have caused her pain is, I don't know, it's a little bit extreme. But then again, they were really horrible to her. But this is why the witch... So the witch knew. The witch knows of Michel's story and wanted Michel to share it with her, Because the witch did say, you never talked to me. You never decided to talk to me. You just ignored me this whole time. You never talked to me. Is the real thing here that the witch... Was the witch in love with Michel? Or at least wanted Michel to be her friend? And part of the reason why the witch is causing so much pain to Michel and Giselle is because Michel chose to fall in love with Giselle and run away from the house, run away from the witch. I mean, the witch, she's not really hidden that fact that she was annoyed about that he's decided to run away with Giselle and not stay with her. Interesting stuff. It does make you think. Shall we carry on? He will not forsake you. The doctors say it's just the flu. Though her words seemed to be directed at me, there was a vacantness in her voice as if they were really for herself. For so long she had wanted a daughter. I couldn't understand her fixation, but seeing her there through my cloudy eyes, I wanted to apologize for ever thinking spending time with her was agonizing. I mean, whatever Lydia is, I mean, she does seem to care for her children. How are you feeling? Your mother's here for you, don't worry. But the only sound that came from my mouth was a faint gasp. I drifted in and out of sleep, Mother's hand wrapped around my own, and I had numerous dreams. In my dreams, I was a man. In my dreams, I was Didier and I was Georges. In my dreams, I fell in love with Amy. And in my dreams, I loved her. You're disgusting. But with one word, it was the same word that Giselle used. She said, you're disgusting. But with one word, the dreams twisted into nightmares. My body was torn into fleshy chunks, and I sunk into the darkness. Huh? Several days later, my fever was gone, like it had never been there. However... What the... My voice did not recover. And when I attempted to climb from my bed, the murderous pain in my joints came rushing back. Instead of my feet, I landed on my face. My voice was unbelievably deep. What? And the pain only got worse. Every time I took a breath, it felt like someone hammering a spike into the back of my neck. It felt like my body was falling apart, like my dreams were becoming reality. But your dreams were... Michel! Michel! When Mother scrambled into my chambers, I remembered the time she had spent at my bedside, and a wave of relief came over me. I reached my hand out in a show of vulnerability, but she didn't take it. She couldn't take it. Mother? What? What's wrong with your voice, Michel? Oh wait, let me just let me modulate. I see you're still not feeling well, are you, Michel? A look of restrained fear on her face. Mother stepped toward me, placing her hand on my forehead. Her palm felt hot against my skin. You don't have a fever? But I hurt all over. My joints. You're still sick, Michel, but don't worry, you'll be fine in no time. Now, back to bed with you. You're a girl, so you shouldn't be sitting on the floor. It's a weird thing to say. It's bad for your back. Her back? What the fuck? As Mother repeated the phrase, you're a girl, again and again, that nagging sense that something wasn't quite right grew more distinct. Was I really sick? Was this actually my voice now? And if it was, What was I turning into? My voice was certainly not a girl's voice. Oh, this is interesting. So my voice never went back to normal though. So Mother ordered me to remain in my room. I hadn't recovered yet. And so long as I was sick, I couldn't be let out. Again, something felt wrong about her calling it a sickness, but I had no evidence to the contrary. I had no way to know I wouldn't get others sick if I exposed them, as she claimed, so I had no choice but to do as she said. In time, Mother too stopped visiting me, and the only people I saw were servants. Fucking hell, man. They did their jobs, but refused to look me in the eye. No one else came to see me though. Not Amy, Didier, or Georges. 1 month passed, then 2, then 3. Occasionally the pain in my joints would withdraw, at other times it would worsen. Whenever I would drift off to sleep, I would hear the sound of my own joints creaking. Ow. I would dream of a woman standing in the courtyard, her soft chestnut hair fluttering the wind as she twirled to face me. A smile on her face and her breasts exposed. What the fuck? What? That's an interesting dream to have. One day, after around 6 months of servants refusing to make eye contact, I stopped one and made a request. To have a mirror brought to my room. While he didn't acknowledge me, the next day I had my mirror. By that point, I was fairly certain I knew what was happening to my body. I had no clothes to wear. Wait, they didn't give Michel any clothes. Because none of the multicolored dresses hanging in my wardrobe fit me anymore. Pulling the heavy red cloth covering the mirrors aside, my completely naked body came into view. Ha! Something resembling a mix of a chuckle and a sigh of pity spilled from my lips. This is me? 6 months. After only 6 months' time, I could hardly recognize myself. Extending my hand for the mirror, I traced the outline of my bony reflection. My shoulders lacked Mother's curves and my skin Amy's sheen. I was pale and haggard, but structurally I looked like my brothers. Obviously, being younger than them and not as active, my muscles lacked any kind of strength, but I wouldn't have batted an eye if I saw myself holding a sword. I was a full head taller than I had been 6 months earlier, and I felt an odd certainty that I wasn't done growing either. Yeah, because Michel's quite tall, isn't he? I'm pretty sure that he was described as really tall when Giselle came across him. Staring at myself in the mirror, I traced my name across the surface. Michel. Don't need the last 2. Michel. Wow. I was a pretty young girl and now I'm a hot guy. I mean, yeah. Why has this randomly happened? For the first time in my life, I liked my name. I still didn't think an angel's name suited me one bit. To be fair, Michel, I beg to differ. But it was staggering how different it felt now, even if it sounded exactly the same. Those last 2 letters changed the meaning entirely, turning it from a girl's name to a boy's name. So this is you at 14? You look more pretty manly for a 14-year-old. But also very anyway, this makes sense. Everything was falling into place. My admiration for Didier, the envy I had for my brothers' bodies, the feelings I had for Amy, the indecent dreams I'd been having. Oh, fair enough, you were just having wet dreams then. Okay. I was always male. Hmm. What? Were you always a guy? And your mother was just raising you as a daughter? No, that can't be it. Because you said that you've gone through some weird illness. But did you just go through puberty? I suppose 14 makes sense. Were you being raised as a girl? I thought you were a girl and you've taken... What? What the hell is going on? 1 second, I need to take a sip of my tea for this. I'm so confused now. Let's see where this goes. I cackled like a fool for the first time in my life. I laughed so hard at the sight of myself my stomach hurt. It was the first glimmer of light I had seen in this locked room for far too long. This was what I was supposed to look like. My life up until 6 months ago, constricted and uncomfortable. My life as a girl was all a lie. No way, you look like a proper girl though. I don't think that you've clearly gone through a transformation in the last 6 months, and I don't think you can attribute that to puberty. I mean, someone else would have, the doctors would have said something or other. No one could possibly look at me and call me an angel. What are you talking about, mate? I was always a boy, but I had been told I was a girl, forced to act like one. Of course that wouldn't feel right. They needed to know. I couldn't be the only one who understood. Is this what's been happening? Is it that Michel's been raised as a girl when Michel's actually a boy, just because of the obsession of Michel's mother to have a daughter? No. 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 Everyone in this house needed to. Ha. Ha. Fueled by this one desire, I wrapped a sheet over my shoulders and threw open my door. It seemed ridiculous how long I had followed Mother's instructions and remained cooped up in my room. And now I felt fantastic. If there truly was a God in heaven, then this change within me was his answer to my prayers. A manservant carrying a tray of food did a double take as I passed him. The further I proceeded through the corridors, the more eyes I felt on me. The midday sun shone obnoxiously bright through the windows. But now, with its piercing radiation illuminating my proper self, I felt an odd affection for the light. I could hear the family gathered in the great hall. Everyone but me. Didier's voice complained about the simple meals the church provided, but his pride came through in his laughter. George's voice playfully bragged about life at the royal court. Father's voice informed everyone his investments had borne fruit, and with the money he had purchased several new estates. Why is nobody... So nobody... They must all know that Michel was being, like, locked away in a room for 6 months. What did they think was going on? Are they all in on it? They all knew that he was locked away because he was going through some supposed illness? Mother's voice was distinctly less bright than the rest of the family's. She gave vague, empty indication she was listening, though mostly stayed out of the conversation. Amy's voice sang her praises for George's, her beloved husband. Never mind the fact that she was sleeping with Didier. God damn, man, what the fuck? I don't know, man, I feel... You betrayed me, Amy. Didier as well, come on. And what's George's up to? George's must know. It was all a facade. A mere shadow of a family. It's a shame Michel couldn't be here. Then we would have everyone. I was there. I was right there. I hadn't gone anywhere. You had just locked me in my room. I hope she recovers soon. I was never sick at all. The child you called Michel was actually your son. That was all there was to it. You're just gonna walk in there with just a bedsheet on. Based. Huh? What? Everyone's gaze is concentrated on me. I gave them all a quick glance, and then with my deepened voice, I said, I am cured. I was cured 6 months ago. Who are you? Wait, I mean, none of them knew? Surely you haven't forgotten my face, have you, Father? Michel? Michel? This boy is Michel? A wave of chatter spread through the hall. Mother went pale. Father objected. Didier stared. Georges gaped. Amy watched cautiously, fear in her eyes. What a farce. They were the ones who had wrongly decided I was a girl. But what's going on? Someone tell me, what is the meaning of this? You were dressing your son up like a girl, Mother? I assumed he was a girl. I mean, we all did. Otherwise, I wouldn't have put my hands on him like that. You lied to me. Oh, wow, this is going to make them... What is going on here? I would never have agreed to it had I known. No, you're wrong. She's Michelle is my daughter. Harsh, Amy. You call that a girl? All these months I was worried because you said he was sick. But that was all a lie. You couldn't pass him off as a girl anymore, so you locked him up in his room. Is that what this is? And you could have just stayed there. What? What possessed you to show yourself now? What? You're telling Michelle to... Stop that. Don't look at me. Don't give me that look. You said you can tell what's going through my mind, didn't you? What? Then you should know how I feel about you right now. Don't be so damned full of yourself. I have no interest in a whore like you. Damn, Michelle. So why don't you go cry into Didier's arms? Holy shit. You... Huh? What are you talking about? Why did you... Why not me? What? Were you really not aware of this, Georges? Hey, anyone want to explain that for me? What had once been a nice family meal was now utter chaos. For the briefest moment I felt sorry for Georges, but that whisked away almost immediately. There was a crash from the table, and dishes fell shattering against the floor. Cursed! A chilling darkness oozed from her voice. She's cursed? She was my daughter. I saw it with my own eyes. I mean, yeah, the father would have seen when Michelle was born. Michelle was a girl, right? You can't fucking miss that. I gave birth to her. She was a girl. Michelle was a girl. A malevolent curse has been placed on her. I mean, did the mother hide that from the father? No. When Mother lifted her head, I had difficulty believing that was the same woman who had sat by my bedside as I lay sick, sacrificing sleep to care for me. Her hair was a frazzled mess and deep creases covered her face. Restrain her! Throw her in her room and lock the door! She's a girl, she was a girl, I swear it! Duh. Open your eyes. Do I sound like a girl? Do I look anything like a girl? Mother's cries sent me into a frenzy. I ripped the sheet off my shoulders, throwing it to the floor. Oh my god, you're exposing yourself to everyone. Fair enough. I am not a girl! And shouted. Eek! Restrain her, please! Someone restrain her! Fear reigned in the great hall. But then, several moments of icy silence were broken by a muttering that shocked me as much as anyone else. Is it the father? What? You're not a boy or a girl. What on earth are you? What? You're an abomination. You're not a boy. You're an abomination. I'm what? I had seen myself in the mirror. I was undoubtedly male. Lacking in strength though they may have been, I had visible muscles. My chest was flat and I was taller than a girl should be. My voice was deep and I had an obvious lump in the middle of my throat. Alright, the Adam's apple. I was male. I had to be male. What else could I be? Are you a hermaphrodite? But then no, you'd have both. So why was Amy looking at me like some kind of strange creature? A chill ran down my spine, and I suddenly found myself deeply uncomfortable being so exposed. Wow. There's nothing there. I've got nothing there. Wait, what are you? What the fuck? Nothing there? I didn't understand what she was talking about. Unable to press further, I fell silent, at which point several servants burst into the great hall and restrained me. She's a girl, she's my daughter. Mother, seemingly in a mad daze, just repeated the same thing over and over. She was a girl! As Mother wailed, she wandered off somewhere. Father stood there in silence. Amy stared at me with disgust in her eyes. George was still in a panic and Didier clenched his fists. Eventually I started regaining my composure, which is when I realized I had made a mistake. My sickness had been made into a curse. So you have no genitalia? Is that what this is? I was, once more, caged up in my room. In addition to the door being locked from the outside, the windows were boarded over so no one could see in, leaving me in perpetual darkness. Wow. I received no visitors except the servants, and again none of them would look me in the eye. Did they know this from the beginning, the servants? The doctor had examined him. So the doctor must have known and said something, and the mother was just like, no, she's a girl, she's a girl. Every day was the same, day in and day out, day in and day out. The only time the routine changed was when, on occasion, a servant would arrive bearing a letter. It was my mother's handwriting on the parchment. We lived in the same house, yet she refused to show herself before me. I had no choice but to respond to her letters. She demanded I speak like a girl, and I didn't have the strength to defy her. What the hell? There was a constant sense of urgency to her letters, like she might fall apart completely at any second. And so I did as she said. You see, what? Oh my god. I signed each letter Michel, the female name she bestowed upon me at birth, which I so despised. Every time I used that name, I felt like I was denying my own identity. On paper, she expressed her concern for me, but that concern only served to cause me more pain. So every time I took up my quill, my hands trembled. Mother, prayed daily that my curse might one day be broken. Am I cursed? Is that why my body changed? Was it not because I was male? There's nothing there. What does she mean by that? I suppose you're not familiar with genitalia? Why did she look at me the way she did? How am I an abomination? Why? I don't understand. Someone, anyone, please tell me. Someone, please! I have brought you your supper. I will be back shortly to retrieve your dishes. I'll be going then. Wait. What? Wait a minute. Yes? What do you need, Michel? Are you a man or a woman? Pardon? Which are you? I am exactly what I appear to be. Which are you? I am a man. Right? Okay, I called the voice right, I guess. If that is all, I'll be going now. Clothes. Oh my god. This is what we're gonna do. Clothes off. What? Take your clothes off right now. Everything, even your underclothes. What? Surely you jest, Michel. I am very serious. I could not possibly. Why not? I could not expose myself. I ordered you to take off your clothes. You mean to humiliate me? I beg you, please reconsider. What are you? You're a servant of the Bollinger estate. Wow. Yeah, don't be a servant of the Bollinger estate. And what am I? I am a child of the Bollinger's family. I may be locked up, imprisoned in this room, but that doesn't make you any less my servant. Wow, look at you throwing rank. What an asshole. Am I wrong? Clothes off. Michel, I ordered you to take your clothes off. Not even the tiniest sliver of guilt arose in my conscience. I felt no shame in what I was doing. All that mattered to me was figuring out what Amy had meant. I wanted to find the truth, not knowing I would have been better off in the dark. His face twisted in humiliation, the servant undressed before me. In the dim candlelight, the man's body was shaped almost like a rectangle. And at a glance, he didn't appear much different than me. A second later, though, I found my answer. I found the one crucial thing he had that I didn't. Why? My lower body lacked the part that made a man a man. Are you satisfied, Michel? It was then that I finally learned what a man's body was supposed to look like. I'm begging you, please allow me to dress. It would be an unbearable shame to remain unclothed any longer. Before the young Bollinger daughter. Oh wow. Daughter? You still insist on calling me a damned girl. Look at these shoulders, my chest, listen to my voice. How can you possibly think any of that belongs to a girl? But how you appear does not... There was a distinct look of fear in the manservant's eyes. Not out of respect for our difference in rank, but out of disgust for this incomprehensible thing standing there before him. Those trembling eyes, and the reality dangling there before me, blew the lid once more off everything I had been holding back. Without that, you would be no different than me. What? Everything else is all the same. So why? Why does it make such a difference? That you have one and I don't? Oh, well, this is interesting. Michel? I am a man. I'm a man just like you. I am no one's daughter. And if you still insist we're not the same, then I'll make you like me. Wow, okay. Without that, you're no different than me. It was a mix of dread and panic that pushed me over the edge. And so, in order to keep myself afloat... Did you chop the guy's dong off? I decided to bring another pain. What? Oh, you... Please don't do this, Michel. Are you gonna... In a blind frenzy, hardly even aware of what I was doing, just riding the current of my erupting emotions, I swiped a knife off the tray the man had brought, knocked him down and climbed onto him. Oh, no, you... No. I'll get rid of it. I'll make you the same. Fucking hell. Without it, you'll be just like me. Get off me, please. Someone help. I'll make you just like me. Get in here, someone. Anyone. Michel. She's delirious. Wait, so does Michel have a vagina and not a dick? Or just nothing? Also, wow. Getting a knife out and just basically gonna give this guy slice off his thing? What the hell? Jeez. Through the fog of hysteria, I suddenly realised I was surrounded by several servants, and the next thing I knew I was on the floor beneath them. There were as many, if not more of them, than when I had made the scene in the Great Hall. A dozen manservants stared down at me, their eyes filled with fear and revulsion. And in the shadows beyond the crowd, I saw Mother looking in on me with vacant eyes. Mother. Mother, why? Why will you only speak to me through letters? Why do you say I'm cursed? Mother, I'm male. I was always male. Tell me that I am Mother. Let me out of here, please. I'm not delirious. My head is perfectly clear. I'm normal. There's nothing wrong with me. I'm not cursed. Mother, say something. Mother! After that, I was shut in my room again. And even the servants stopped coming. I pushed and I shoved and I pulled and I pounded with all my strength, but the doors and windows didn't budge. A day passed, and then another. With no food or water, I started fearing death was upon me. What, they stopped feeding you? Wow. I'd had no idea how miserable it was to go so long without water. My throat was dry and cracked, and it felt like it was on fire, making breathing difficult. 2 days. 48 long hours. I felt like I was going to lose my mind. After just 2 days, my skin stretched tight across my bones, looking hard and dry in the soft candlelight. Water. I need water. Someone please give me water. Why won't anyone bring me any? Why? My family had abandoned me and were leaving me to die in this room. When I realized that, I broke into uncontrollable shaking. The helplessness threatened to suffocate me. Fear of death turned to panic, which only scrambled my already confused mind further. I grabbed a chair, swinging it at the window at the door. But all my attempts ended in crushing failure. Anyone. I clawed at the door, begging for help. Someone, open the door. Anyone. Water, I need water. 1 drop, that's all I need. I'm going to die in here. Someone. Anyone. Mother, father. Didier, Georges. Someone open the door, please. Help me. Someone. I need water. But my throat hurts, it burns. I'm so weak. Someone. Water. Didier, Georges. Anyone. But not a single soul came to the door. With no food or water, the 3rd day came and went, and then the 4th. By that point I was expectedly devoid of any sense of dignity, and I sat there covered in all manner of human filth. What, did they not let you go to the toilet? As my body quickly wasted away, still I clung to the vain hope that someone would open that door. It was all I had. Occasionally I would hear footsteps. Whenever I did, I mustered up what meagre strength I had left to bang on the door. Whoever's there, please, open the door. I'm begging you, someone. But my pleas fell on deaf ears. Though they didn't respond to me, I could hear the Abigails muttering to one another in the corridor. Did you hear that? Yes, I did. I wonder what's gotten into Lady Michel. They say she's cursed. Maybe she sold her soul to the devil. How dreadful. We should stay away from that door. If we don't want to be cursed too. I'm not cursed. I did not sell my soul to the devil. I'm kind of scared. I might have to find some work somewhere else. Gotta make sure we stay away from that door. Why do you think I'm cursed? Like, I never did anything wrong. Lady Michel has lost her mind. She's deranged. I'm scared even thinking about her. I am not deranged. My mind is perfectly fine. She's right crazy. She's right mad. No, I'm not. I'm perfectly normal. Tee. That them. Tee. Fucking hell. Someone please get me out of here. I'm kind of surprised that they didn't just try to like get rid of Michel. I know that sounds harsh, but I don't know, like this seems pretty crazy. And usually they would just be like, I mean, the fact that the mum's saying that Michel's cursed, I would have thought he was like put him in a fire and set fire to him. Let's see. The 5th and then the 6th day passed, and by that point I was hovering on death's brink. I lacked even the willpower to hold myself up against the door, so I simply lay on the cold floor waiting for the end. I felt no sorrow, no anger, no despair, nothing. I felt I had been sucked completely dry. I couldn't even compose a coherent thought, which is why when the door I had so yearned to open actually did, and someone stepped inside standing over me, I was unable to process it. My god, what a mess. I wonder who this is. Hey, are you still alive? Well, look at that. I was afraid you'd be dead. Amy? Okay. It was Amy's voice. Why are you here? You're the one that thought I was disgusting. I'm sorry, really. I didn't mean you much harm. But after what you said in front of the whole family, I was a little upset. Yeah. Are you gonna kill us? Like we just, you know, laid bare your, what do you call it, affair with Didier. She's totally gonna kill us. I couldn't tell what she was saying. All I could hear were garbled sounds. And all I could do was moan at her. The servants are all afraid of you now, after your little episode. So I volunteered to bring you your food in their place. Why did you wait 4 days for this? Everyone was so grateful. I don't think anyone likes you anymore. Eventually, my muddy mind managed to make sense of the thing she was holding in her hands. A tray of food. Is she going to poison us? She's totally going to poison us. I could smell it from here. At first I just gave your food to a stray cat. Oh my god. You're supposed to be feeding Michel the whole time and you are fucking... I wish you could have seen it devouring every last bit. But water... What I didn't know though was that people can die in just a few days without water. I never intended to kill you. I just didn't know. So I'm really sorry about that. Water. But you're alive. For someone so physically weak, you sure are tenacious. Isn't that nice? You have one thing you can be proud of. But water. What was that? Water? You want water? Hold on, I've got some right here. She picked up a goblet with her delicate fingers. My hand swiped weakly at the air, trying to grab it. A grin spread across her lips. And then she let go. Go on. Drink. You'd better hurry, or the rug will absorb it all. You wanted water, didn't you? Then drink. In that moment, I could hear the sound of the last of my dignity crumbling away. Driven solely by my survival instinct, I bent down toward the rug, pressing my lips against the spreading puddle. You really did it. This is too good, Michel. You look like a cat. No, cats are much more graceful. I can't stop laughing. The daughter of a prestigious family, the Bollingers, sucking water out of a carpet. I wish I had a painter here to capture this image on canvas. So you know, I accept that I made a mistake, Michel. I promise I'll bring you your food from now on. I'll take very good care of you. This is going to be fun. Listening to her childish yet deeply malicious laughter, I understood. I was her plaything now. My hell was only just beginning. Having gotten food and water, my body recovered somewhat, but I was hardly in peak condition. That would take some time, given how badly malnourished I'd been. Amy continued to treat me like her pet, constantly stoking the flame of rage within me. But I was too weak to stay on my feet for long, and talking hurt my throat. I assume it was a calculated effort on her part to maintain power over me. Holy shit. To keep me as miserable as possible, she always had a smirk on her face as she gazed down on me. Come on, open up. Today I'm going to feed you myself. What's the matter? I can't put anything in your mouth closed. I can't put anything in with your mouth closed. Or do you want to starve to death? Amy, why are you doing this? Why? Because it's fun. Why else? You married into this family, you sick wench. Oh wow, Michel. What gives you the idea you could treat me... Are you saying that because I married in, I'm of lesser stature than you? That's true, I am. But what's your point? You think you can intimidate me with formalities? Amy. Ew, I would rather you not speak my name if you wouldn't mind. That doesn't excuse your treatment of me. Someone, Diddy or Georges will make you pay for this. You don't have a single friend here, Michel. No one to take your side. And no one to say a thing about me playing with you. Assuming you were somehow able to tell someone, no one would believe you. That's a lie. Do you have any idea what people say about you? They say you've gone mad, that you've sold your soul to the devil. Do you honestly believe anyone would trust you? I'm not mad. I don't know, you look plenty mad to me. Fine, then I'll run away. I'll escape from this estate and from you. You think you could survive out in the world with that body? A stray cat could lift more than you. You'd never find work. I give you a week at best. You can't be so sure of that. Maybe I could make it on my own. Maybe. But either way, there's no way you're getting out. You try to run, someone might just cut your legs off. How is that at all necessary? Don't ask me. Maybe because your curse hasn't broken. You know, you're lucky you're even allowed to live. And you should be grateful to me for volunteering to take care of you. Nobody else wanted to have anything to do with it. So if you want to keep living, you have to show me some respect, and you have to do everything I tell you to. Understood? So this is the real you. You were just pretending to be respectable, when in reality not only are you sleeping with Didier, you're a downright vile woman. You've been putting on an act ever since you got here. Oh, you make it sound like I'm somehow worse than anyone else. I'm quite normal, thank you. How is this normal? Listen to me, Michel. The side of me you see right now isn't necessarily the whole thing. The sweet girl I am for the family is also me. And when I held you in my arms, that too was me. I'm not putting on an act. Liar. Although, to tell you the truth, I never actually liked you, so that part was a lie, yes. If Mother hadn't asked, I would never have even considered getting friendly with you. Amy. You know, life as a noblewoman is so dull. It's so restrictive. No room for love at all. So can you really blame me? There so happened to be the most wonderful night right there for the taking. Why shouldn't I have gone after him? Oh, fucking hell. Let me just drink a cup of... Oh, this is... I'm still young. Let me have some fun, you know. Not like women have much else in the way of recreation. So it wasn't it wasn't Didier, but you who seduced him. Oh wait, Michel. So it wasn't Didier, but you who seduced him. And it all would have worked out beautifully too, if you had only kept your mouth shut. You ruined our family gathering and damaged my reputation. And you called me a whore. That wasn't very nice, now, was it? Is it any surprise I'm a little sore? You brought this on yourself, Michel. I brought this on myself? Don't you dare! Nothing justifies what you're doing to me. I'm not the disturbed one. You're a crazy whore, and don't you try and pretend otherwise, damn you. Oh my, such language. You're not being very nice to me, Michel. Girls aren't supposed to talk like that, you know. I'm not a girl. Then what are you? I'm a man. A man? With that body? Wow. Wow. I didn't think this would go this way. Wow. Just what? I think... Wait. I think we'll leave it there for today. Bloomin' heck. Fucking hell. That went down. That went places. I thought it was bad enough, and then Michel goes through what I believe is puberty. Gains what is a man's body, but doesn't have, I'm assuming, the male genitals. Does Michel have female genitals but a man's body? Is that what is going on here? Either way, Amy, who's seen as like this really nice, you know, fiance, and is just giving it the spiel of, oh, you know, you don't choose love, it's fine, but I'm happy, and is like freaking going after Didier, who's the hot like night dude. Fair enough, but Didier, come on, it's your brother's fiance. You could, what the fuck, man? So all of that nonsense. Did the mother not suspect anything when as Michel was growing up that something was off? I mean, the red eyes. I mean, there's nothing suspicious. I don't know. What the hell is going on with the family? And the father's an asshole. We already know this. He's a complete dick. What a messed up family. Now the question is, how does Michel get away from this and get sent to the mansion? This also explains why Michel is very happy staying at the mansion and has no interest in really going back. Jeez, oh. Amy turns out to be a psychopath. Oof. Oof. Well, on that note, on that bombshell, we'll leave it there for today. I'm Ash Mannix. This is the house in Fata Morgana. And hopefully I'll see you guys next time. Later.